And we are back with 7th grade action here at Ohio Northern University. It is Jeremy Scott for this game between Team 419 and the Miami Valley Hawks. Kayla Cazell on camera as it's Team 419 who controls this one to start things off. And that is to Oliver. Oliver into the paint with a quick bucket. And Team 419 draws first blood. It is 2-0. Up ahead the Hawks. Into the corner. That is Rush. Up top it comes to Miller. Miller for 2. That's no good. And that is a loose ball, and that's taken by Clark, and Team 419's got it. Team 419 here on offense. Of course, we saw Team 419 just a couple of games ago. And that is Clark. Dishing it out to Miracle. Up top to Oliver. That's for 3, and that falls. No, that's just a 2, but still, it is 2 points for Oliver, and it's a 4-0 ball game. And that foul on the Hawks. That was an offensive foul called there on Meyer. I'm sorry, on Seiler. So 4-0 the score. It is Team 419 on offense. Team 419, that's Clark. Into the paint she goes, putting it up and in there. That is 2 for Clark. And the score 6-0 now. Team 419 off to an early advantage here. On the other end, the Hawks. Hawks on offense. There's an inbounds pass. That is up, and that is good. And scoring the first 2 points for the Hawks, Brewer. And it makes it a 6-2 ball game. And the ball was deflected out of bounds by the Hawks, so it will be Team 419 who keeps it. And that'll be Clark to inbound. Clark inbounds to Oliver. Oliver on the drive, kicking it outside, putting up a little hook shot runner, and that is no good. And taking the ball is Team 419, getting the ball back off of a steal. Oliver fouled. That'll be a foul on Seiler. That's the second Miami Valley Hawks foul. And so it will remain at this end. Team 419 will inbound. Clark to do the inbounding. Clark inbounding it to Allmeyer. Allmeyer on the drive. Allmeyer with a shot. Allmeyer no good. Rebounded by the Hawks. Pushing the ball back down the floor. That is Brewer. Brewer, who's got the only Hawks point so far, dishes it out, and that's no good for 3. And then it's safe from going out of bounds. Then it does go out of bounds, and that will be off of Team 419. Miami Valley will keep this ball. As checking in for the Hawks will be Rodemaker, as well as Seiler. Nope, Seiler was already in there. They're trying to decide who Rodemaker was going to sub for. They finally figured it out, and that would be number 9, Miller. So inbounds it comes. Off of that inbounds pass, that was a quick shot by Shepard that did not fall for her, and that's rebounded by Selhorst, and it will be Team 419 ball as Clark pushed the ball down the floor. Clark with the dish inside and driving a baseline, kicking it back to Clark from the short corner. That shot does not fall, and that is taken by Shepard. Shepard on the rebound for Miami Valley, kicking it up ahead to Rush. Rush on the drive. Rush is going to pull it out and give it off to Brewer. Brewer on the shot from the paint. That's no good. Rebounded by Brewer. She puts that one up and puts that one in there. And it's now a 6-4 ball game. So Team 419 jumped out to that early 6-0 lead, but the Hawks have scored the last 4 points. And now it's just a one-possession ball game. Clark on the drive. Clark kicking it outside. And that is number 24. That is Miracle. And that's a shot. That is up, and that doesn't fall for Miracle. And it's rebounded by the Hawks, who could potentially tie it or even take the lead, depending on what happens on this possession. But it's taken away. It's taken away by Team 419, and that was Sparks who lost it for the Hawks. And Clark has it now for Team 419. Clark up ahead. Clark dishing it out to Oliver. Oliver is going to dribble it into the paint, put up a shot, get fouled on that shot, and Oliver will step to the free throw line, and she will shoot a pair. Checking into the ball game for the Hawks, number 20, Kirby. Checking in for Team 419, numbers 11 and 13, Clement and Minnig. And I apologize, I misspoke. That was not a shooting foul. I thought it was, as Oliver gets it off the inbounds pass, puts up a shot that doesn't fall out of bounds. It's going to go off of the Hawks, just not able to quite control it off of that rebound. There was a Hawks player there to get it. She just wasn't able to quite take it and put it up, or I should say be able to keep possession of it. And so it remains Hawks ball. It remains Team 419's ball. And that's Oliver. Oliver has it taken away from her. Taking the ball up the floor. That's the Hawks. The Hawks have it now. That was Brewer on that steal. Up ahead it comes. That's a shot. That's up. That's no good for Seiler. Into the paint it goes. There's a scrum for that loose ball. Hawks end up with it. Shot up. Shot good. Tie ball game. And the Hawks don't have numbers on the fronts of their jerseys, so you're going to have to bear with me for a second. That was Shepard on that shot. And so Shepard has 2 for the Hawks. Brewer has 4. And it is Team 419's ball. Clark on the drive. And Clark gets it back. Clark into the paint. Clark with a shot. Shot up, shot good. Count the bucket and the foul. So Clark at the free throw line. The N1 situation no good for Clark. And so it remains an 8-6 ball game. Hawks up ahead. Knocked out of bounds there by Clement. And there's a timeout on the floor. So with the score 8-6. We'll take a timeout with them right here on GBA TV. Back to the action here. It's the Hawks on offense who trail by 2. Hawks into the paint. That shot is up, and that is no good for Sparks. And it's rebounded by the Hawks. 3-point look here. That one falls. 3 points for Miami Valley. Makes it a 9-8 Miami Valley lead. And again, no numbers on the backs of these jerseys, so you're going to have to bear with me while I figure out who that was on the shot. And that was Kirby, by the way, who had that 3-point shot for Miami Valley as the Hawks get the ball back off of a defensive rebound on the other end. That's Brewer. Brewer for 3. That one does not fall, and Oliver tries to get the rebound. She does for the defensive side. Good job by her. And Oliver will push the ball up the floor. Up to Clark. Gets a pick from Oliver. Clark on the drive. Clark with a shot, and she's going to be called for a travel. They're going to say that Clark walked before the shot, and so it will come back to the Hawks, who lead by 1. As checking out of the ball game for Team 419 is Oliver, checking in Horstman. Hawks on the drive. That's a shot by Briscoe that doesn't fall. And it's Team 419 who has the ball back. 9-8 to score. This one a good one so far here in this one. Outside to Selhorst. Selhorst kicking it out. That's a 2-point look for Minig, and that's an air ball. And scrum for that loose ball. And that will belong to the Hawks. So the possession arrow favors Miami Valley. So 8th grade game here And there's a shot for three that does not fall for Brewer. And that's taken by Team 419. Up ahead to Clark. Clark has it. Clark on the drive. And she's cut off by Shepard as she kicks it outside. She gives it off to Clement. Clark gets it back, spins into the paint, puts it up, puts it in there. Clark has 6 of the Team 419, 10 points. They lead it by 1. Underneath the glass, that is Kirby, who had nobody there to even bother her on that shot. So the score now 11-10. The Hawks back up by 1. A lot of action, a lot of scoring here early on in this ball game as Team 419 loses it out of bounds, and I do believe it's going to come back to the Hawks. That was Minig who just kind of lost it on the dribble. And so back into the game for the Hawks. Rodemaker as well as Rush. Also into the game Miller, and taking a seat for Miller will be Seiler. On the other end, that's a shot, that's up, and that is good for Rodemaker. She's got 2 now, and the score, Miami Valley 13, Team 419 10. That's Clement. Clement on the right wing, being guarded by Briscoe. Up top it comes to Allmeyer. Allmeyer kicking it outside to Minig. Minig into the high post, back outside to Clement. Clement giving it off to Horstman. Back up top to Minig. Minig has it knocked away from her, but Allmeyer is there to get it. Allmeyer going to drive it baseline, kick it inside, and it's a shot that's up, and that is good. Selhorst with her first 2 of the ball game cuts it to a 13-12 Miami Valley lead. Back on offense, the Hawks. Kirby for 3, no good, and rebounded there by Briscoe. Kirby back to Miller. Over to the right, and inside it comes. That's a shot that's up, and that's good. Count the bucket and the foul. Rodemaker there for 2. Got fouled on her way up, and so she'll have a chance for an and 1 here. First team foul, by the way, on Team 419. And by the way, the Hawks have 5 team fouls, so some early foul trouble here for the Hawks as Rodemaker at the line, not able to knock that one down. And there's a rebound on the offensive side. That's up, that's no good. And the Hawks maintain possession. And that's Rush who tracks that down. Hawks on the drive. That's up and that's good for Briscoe. Briscoe for 2, her first 2 points. Makes it 17-12. It's the Hawks over 419. Clement on the other end. Over to Minig. Minig back to Clement. Clement on the drive. And she tried to give it up underneath, and they lost it. Did Team 419. And that tie-up will favor 419, so the ball will remain at that end. As a couple of players check in for Team 419. Oliver back in as well as Clark. 2 of their offensive stars, really, as Clement and Selhorst will sit. Clark to inbound. She finds Oliver. Oliver loses it back to Clark. Clark, shot, no good. Rebounded by the Hawks. The Hawks push the ball back down the floor. Almost losing it is Briscoe, and then she does lose it to Allmeyer. Allmeyer has it now. 1-on-2. Allmeyer going to get fouled on that drive. And that is the 6th team foul on the Miami Valley Hawks. So Allmeyer will step up to the free throw line with a chance at 2. 5:49 to go here in this first half. A lot of scoring, a lot of action, a lot of speed. This one a good one here so far. It is Jeremy Scott here at the commentary table alongside Kayla Cazell as Allmeyer knocks down the first free throw. 17-13 now the score. As Allmeyer's second shot is going to rim out. And it's taken by the Hawks. So it's a 4-point ball game. Up ahead come the Hawks on offense. Hawks driving it underneath. That is a shot by Briscoe. Briscoe got fouled on her way up, so the second team foul on Team 419 is a shooting foul. And so Briscoe is going to go to the charity stripe now with a chance to add to her team's 4-point advantage. Of course, a big shout out to all the administrators helping to make this happen as Briscoe knocks down the first free throw. Caleb Graham, as well as the brothers Ferguson with Jeff and John, and of course Tom Strasser as well. As Briscoe's second shot is up, and that one no good, and it's taken by Clark. Team 419 up ahead. Down 5. Clark loses the ball out of bounds. They're going to say she touched it last. And 4 in, 4 out here for the Hawks, who lead it by 5 with 5:32 to go in the first half. Hawks on offense. Up top. Into the lane. Shot. No good. Rebounded by Clark. That was Brewer, by the way, on that drive, on that missed shot as well. Up ahead to Allmeyer, and it's going to go over her head and out of bounds. And so just a little bit too far in front of Allmeyer. She was not able to chase that one down, so it's going to come back to the Miami Valley Hawks, who lead it by 5 with 5:13 to go here in the first half. I'm not sure why it's showing period 2 up on that scoreboard, but we're only in the first half. There's a shot that's up, no good for Rush, and Oliver tracks that one down for Team 419. And up ahead to Allmeyer. Allmeyer on the drive, puts it up and in. Allmeyer's got 3. Team 419 has 15. They trail by 3. It's 18-15. Hawks. That is Brewer. Pass into the short corner. That's a shot no good for Shepard, and it's rebounded by Minig. Over to Oliver. Oliver is going to drive and have it poked away from her. Hawks have it back on offense. Pushing the ball up the floor. Putting it up. That's no good. There to get the offensive rebound. Tell you what, good teamwork there by Shepard and Sparks, and then there's a tie-up, loose ball. I do believe that is going to favor the Miami Valley Hawks, so we'll keep it at that end with 4:20 to go here in the first half. 18-15 the score. Jeremy Scott here at the commentary table. Kayla Cazell on camera. As Minig will check out of the ball game, Clement will check back in for Team 419. The Hawks will inbound it, and there's a shot that's up. That's no good, and that was Brewer. Outlet pass up ahead to Clement. She's not able to control it cleanly. And there's another tie-up, and that one's going to go out of bounds. They're going to say that Clement touched it last, so the Hawks get the ball back. Hawks on offense. And Rush tried a little bounce pass there. Oliver interfered with it. Hawks get the ball back. And on the drive, up and in for 2, Brewer. She's got 6. Miami Valley Hawks 20. Team 419 15. Clark. Into the corner. That's Allmeyer. Allmeyer stops, shoots. No good. And rebounded there by Clement. Good job by her to get that ball back off the offensive glass. Good hustle by her. She had it knocked out of bounds from behind by Rush. And it will remain Team 419 ball. Clark on the inbounds to Oliver. Shot, that one's short, and that one's going to go off of the Hawks and out of bounds. And Team 419 keeps it. Clark will inbound it. Inbounds to Oliver in the low post. That's a shot that's up and good. Oliver doesn't miss too many of those. Once she gets the ball cleanly in the low post, she's not going to miss most often. 20-17 is the score. Hawks. Shot for 2. That one falls, and the Hawks are back up by 5. It's Oliver. Little bounce pass into Clark on the drive. Good job by her, but they're going to say that she walked with it. And so we'll wave off the bucket. By the way, that was Shepard on the last possession for the Hawks who put in the last 2-point bucket. Hawks back on offense. That's Shepard. Shepard on the right wing. Underneath to Rademacher. Stolen away by Clark. Clark's got it for Team 419. Up ahead she comes, and then she has it stolen away from her, but not able to see it going out of bounds. Now the Hawks, so it will remain Team 419 ball. Good job there by Brewer to try to steal that ball away. She just wasn't able to save it from going out of bounds. That's Selhorst on offense. Gives it off to Clark. Clark playing the point. She's guarded by Shepard. Outside to Oliver. She'll attempt a 3-pointer, and that one does not fall for her. And there to scoop it up and put the ball back up and put the ball in there. That was Allmeyer, and the score 22-19. Remains a one-possession ball game. I tell you what, every time Team 419 cuts it to within one possession, the Hawks always have an answer. We'll see if they do here as they drive it baseline and then lose it out of bounds, and it's going to go back to Team 419. Team 419 has it. Clark outside to Oliver. Oliver into the paint. Oliver with a shot. That falls. Oliver has 8. It's 22-21. The Hawks lead by 1. 1:33 to play here in the first half. Hawks back on offense. That's Kirby. Kirby on the baseline. Kirby fouled. And so Kirby will step up to the free throw line. So far, 5 points for Kirby. Has not been to the free throw line yet this game. As she takes the first shot, and that one rims out on her, no good. As checking back into the ball game for the Hawks, Briscoe. And checking out will be Brewer. Second shot is up, and that is no good for Kirby, so she's 0 for 2 from the line that trip, but then she gets the ball back, and she puts the ball up, no good. And that's rebounded by Allmeyer. Allmeyer has it right now for Team 419, who trail by 1. Oliver into the low post, and she puts her team back up by a point. Oliver with 10 points makes the score 23-22. Team 419 with a 1-point advantage. We're at 1 minute to go here in the first half. Hawks on offense, trailing by 1. Briscoe onto the right wing. Back up top it comes. Onto the left wing. 3-point attempt. Good. .40 seconds to go. That 3-point shot by Shepard. Outside to Oliver. She'll attempt a 3. That one does not fall, and that's rebounded by Kirby. Kirby pushing the ball up ahead. She's got nobody between her and the bucket. Clark comes down late, and she's able to interfere with that. And she's able to block that shot and get the ball back for Team 419. But then the Hawks get it back, putting the shot up and over the backboard. That's going to be out of bounds off of Shepard, with the Hawks leading by 2. Team 419 with 15.4 seconds left could either tie or take the lead as these teams will huddle up for halftime. Up ahead, underneath, that's a shot, that's up, that's no good, and that's rebounded by Shepard. Hawks have it with 3 seconds to go. Shepard up ahead, and that's intercepted, and that is how this first half will end. Very good half by both teams. The Hawks lead it 25-23 over Team 419, and we'll be back with the second half right here on GBA TV. And we're about to get back to the action here. It's the second half of this game between the Miami Valley Hawks and Team 419. It's an 8th grade game here at Ohio Northern University. Jeremy Scott alongside Kayla Cazell. It is the Northern Shootout, the 15th annual Northern Shootout. Glad to be here with you. And it'll be Team 419 who trails by 2 to begin the second half. That is Clement on the drive. Clement's going to take it herself, put it up, no good. Rebounded by the Hawks. Coming up ahead is Rush. Rush into the paint. Bounce pass. Shot up. Shot no good. Rebounded by the Hawks. So offensive board there. Rush gets it back. Over to the right wing. That was Kirby. Over to the corner. Back to Kirby on the right. Cross-court pass. Shot for 2. No good. And there to get it is Seiler. Seiler with a shot. That's up, and that's no good. They're going to say that nobody touched it but Seiler. She just plain old missed the shot. It went out of bounds, and it comes back to Team 419. That's Clement, who gets a pick from Minig. Clement on the baseline. Back outside to Minig. Minig. Shaking off a defender. Minig in the corner. Bounce pass on the baseline. It's stolen away by Brewer, but they're going to say that Brewer's foot was out of bounds, and so Team 419 will keep it. Clark on the inbounds, and losing it was Minig. And it's the Hawks up ahead. Underneath, that was Kirby. And stolen away by Minig. Minig gets it back for Team 419. Push on the part of the Miami Valley Hawks. That's either team's first foul of the second half. As Sparks will check out of the ball game for the Hawks. Clement has it. Knocked out of her hands and out of bounds, but it will remain at that end. Of course, after this game, we will have more action for you here on GBA TV. We'll run down that list of games that we still have yet to go. Next break in the action as it's a tie-up, and that jump ball will favor the Miami Valley Hawks. So after this game, it'll be a 7th grade game between the Northwest Hoop Stars and the Glass City Fury. Then it'll be another 7th grade game, the Lima Sparks and the Mac Vision, and then another 7th grade game, the Findlay Bombers and Cincy Swish on the other end. That's a missed shot by the Hawks. And out of bounds it goes. And off of Team 419. Team 419 ends up with it off of that steal by Clark. Up ahead, underneath, that's Clement. Clement puts it up, and she has it rejected. She's able to track down that loose ball, then she's tied up with Kirby, and the possession arrow will favor Team 419. No points yet here in the second half, as Clement has it. Team 419 gives it up to Allmeyer, and wave off the drive because that was a travel. As you can probably tell, there are all kinds of games going on here. As there's a drive that is up, and that is good for Rush, her first 2 of the ball game, 27-23. Yeah, we've got 3 games going on at once here. We're in the middle court here, so you're about to hear whistles from all over the place because of where we are situated here at Ohio Northern University. Minig. Minig giving it off to Clark. Clark's going to drive it, push it inside, get it back. That's a shot by Allmeyer, and that shot doesn't fall for her, and it's taken by the Hawks. Hawks pushing the ball up the floor. That is Seiler, and she was trying to find her teammate over there, and I think that may have been Kirby she was trying to find, and it was just a little over her head. And was that Kirby? No, that was Rush. So no, that was Brewer. So 3rd time's the charm for me. Clark giving it off to Clement. Clement over to Allmeyer. Back up top to Miracle. To Clark on the right wing. Clark able to shake off a defender, drive it inside. Nice move by Clark. Up for two and good. 27-25. Well, it looked like she was just trapped there on the boundary line. She was able to shake off a defender, make that drive, and put that ball up and in for two. As Kirby on the other end airballs it, Hawks able to save it from going out of bounds and keep possession of this ball. Kirby is going to drive it. Kirby's going to put it up, and that one doesn't fall for her. Rebounded on the offensive side by Seiler, and Seiler was fouled on her way up, and so Seiler, who doesn't have any points yet, will have a chance to put points on the board. As Miller gets ready to check back in here for the Hawks, as well as Shepard. And Seiler does indeed put a point on the scoreboard there with a free throw. 28-25 the score. Second free throw forthcoming. Second shot for Seiler is good. So Seiler 2 for 2 at the line. Makes it a two-possession ball game. It's 29-25 Hawks. Clark. Over to Clement. Clement gives it off to Horseman. Back outside to Clark. There's a spin move. That's up. That's no good. And it's rebounded. Well, it's not rebounded by anybody yet because there's a loose ball. And they're actually going to say that Team 419 got a timeout before the jump ball could be called. So with 10:07 to go here in the second half, the Miami Valley Hawks lead Team 419 29-25. And back to the action here with the score 29-25. Miami Valley Hawks leading Team 419 as Clark has it. She's going to drive it baseline and she's going to give it back to Minig. And they're going to say that somebody stepped out of bounds, and so it comes back to the Hawks who lead by 4. Bounce pass underneath looking for Rademacher. And Rademacher not able to quite handle that pass, and so Team 419 gets it back. That's Clement. Clement. Over to Selhorst. Outside to Clark. Clark drives it on the runner, puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Clark. She gets it up, no good, and that is taken by Horseman. And there's another loose ball, jump ball, and the jump ball will favor the Miami Valley Hawks. So they get the ball back here with 9:36 to go, up 4. That is Miller. Outside. That's a shot. That will not fall for Brewer. And Brewer gets her own rebound. Brewer puts it back up. That one does fall for her. Nice job by Brewer to keep that possession alive for her Miami Valley Hawks, who lead at 31-25 now, courtesy of that 2-point bucket by Brewer. Clement kicks it outside to Clark. Clark. Bounce pass over to Allmeyer. Allmeyer on the drive. Good. 31-27. Miami Valley leads Team 419. That's Brewer. Over to Miller. Low post. Rademacher. And she was fouled on her way up by Selhorst. And so Rademacher will have a chance to step to the free throw line and add to her team's 4-point advantage. Rademacher with 4 points so far, 0 for 1 from the line, 0 for 2 from the line. As Seiler will check in for the Hawks. Rademacher is no good. That's trip to the free throw line on either shot. So it remains a 4-point advantage here for the Hawks. That's Clark. Gives it off on the elbow to Selhorst. Selhorst underneath, shot no good, rebounded by Rademacher. Seiler up ahead. Into the lane, no good. And they're going to say no foul. Clement gets it back for Team 419. Clement. Bounce pass underneath, and they're going to say that Clement traveled as number 20, Kirby, will check back in for the Miami Valley Hawks. And Rademacher will take a seat. On the other end, losing the ball off of the dribble is Shepard, and then there's a tie-up, and the tie-up will favor Team 419, so it's going to come back to the other end. We're at 8:09 to play here in the second half. Team 419 has it down 4. On the elbow, that's Selhorst. Outside to Clark. Clark tries to dish it underneath and has it stolen away from her. Seiler on the other end puts up a shot, no good on the lay-in. And Clement gets it back. Clement. On the right wing. Clement spins. Clement into the paint. Puts up a shot that's partially blocked. And it goes out of bounds, and it will remain Team 419 ball. Inbounds it comes to Miracle, who loses it, and there's a whistle. And taken away by the Hawks. Hawks get it back on offense. Up ahead. That is Rush, who pushes it outside. Well, not outside, but passes it back. Rush gets it back. And then she puts up a shot that's no good. A couple of offensive boards here for the Hawks. And finally, they convert. That is a 2-point bucket for Rush. 33-27 is the score. Clement up ahead. Clement into the paint. And she's tied up. And that ball is going to come back to the Miami Valley Hawks. As Oliver, as well as Clement, will take a seat for Team 419. Underneath, that's up and good for Seiler, who extends her team's lead to 8 now, 35-27. The Hawks lead Team 419. Clark spinning. Giving it off to Minig. Minig finds Clark. Clark. Back to Minig at the top. Minig has the ball poked away from behind. They're actually going to say that there's a foul on Miami Valley. I do believe they got Shepard on that one. And I'm sorry, that's not Shepard. That was Seiler who was called for the foul. As Clark has it on the right wing. That's a shot that's short and taken by the Miami Valley Hawks. Hawks push the ball up ahead with 6 minutes to go in the second half. That is Sparks who has it. Gives it off to Rush. Rush in the corner. Timeout called by the Miami Valley Hawks. So with 35-27 the score and 5:51 to go in this ball game, we'll be back right here on GBA TV. Back to the action here. Miami Valley Hawks on offense. And off of the inbounds, that's Brewer, who now has 10. The Hawks lead at 37-27. Clark driving it herself and getting fouled. And so Clark will go to the free throw line here. And Clark will have a chance to cut into this Miami Valley lead that has been expanded to 10. That is Miami Valley's largest lead of this ball game. Clark 0 for 1 so far at the line. She's got 8 points overall and is not able to convert on that free throw attempt. Second shot for Clark is up, and that one falls. And it's 37-28. And a timeout on the floor with 5:36 to go here in the second half of this 8th grade game here at Ohio Northern University. And we're back here with the action. 37-28, Miami Valley on offense. They lead by 9. That's Rush pushing the ball down the floor. Rush going to take it herself, and she's going to miss that shot. That's Allmeyer up ahead. Allmeyer. She has a chance at a fast break opportunity here. That one is up, and that is good. And Allmeyer now has 9 points to score. 37-30. The Hawks lead Team 419. Sparks gets it across to Rush. Rush on the drive, and no good on the shot. Rebounded there. Well, it looked like the Hawks had that offensive board, and then they finally do end up with it. And there's a shot that is up, and that's going to fall short for Boyd. Boyd gets it back, puts it up and in. That's Clement. Her team down 9. 39-30. Clark into the paint. Kicks it to Allmeyer for 2. That's no good. And there to get it is Shepard. Shepard, outlet pass. And that's almost stolen away, but the Hawks get it, and that is good. Sparks with her first 2 of the ball game. 41-30 now the score. 4:20 and winding on this second half clock. Clark into the paint, and she has that one stripped away from her. It goes out of bounds. It will remain Team 419 ball, but they do trail by 11. This is the Hawks' largest lead so far today. And there's a shot that's up and good for Clement off of the inbound. So now it's 41-32. On the other end, that shot is up, and that shot is good. And that is Seiler, who makes it a 43-32 game now. And on the other end, the Hawks almost steal that one away, and that one's going to go on to the other court. And I'm looking behind me right now, and actually there was a play in progress as that ball went into the other court, and they're actually very lucky nobody tripped over our loose ball from this court, because that was nearly a disaster. That could have been a bad ankle, yeah, or even worse. So we're very lucky that nobody got hurt off of that. No harm, no foul. We will continue play here as the Hawks inbound it. It went off of Team 419. That is Seiler, who has it stripped away from her by Allmeyer. Nice steal there for Team 419, but Allmeyer steps out of bounds, and it will now be Miami Valley's ball. Nope, they're going to say that one off of the Hawks. So Allmeyer gets it off the inbounds. Driving it inside, then having it stolen away from her is Miracle. And that's Seiler pushing it to the other end, and they're going to get a charge on Seiler. That's the 4th Miami foul. I'm sorry, not the 4th. That's the 6th Miami foul. Jeez, haven't been keeping track here because they've got it up on the big scoreboard. I've gotten spoiled here. Not often do they have a big, huge scoreboard when we do these GBA tournaments. And so that's the 6th Miami Valley foul. So one more, And Team 419 will be shooting foul shots. Clark tries to find Allmeyer. They have it knocked out of bounds. As Clark will inbound it. And does to Clement. Clement's got 2 points, and she has that ball stolen away from her by Briscoe. Briscoe on the steal. Briscoe pushing it up ahead. That is to Kirby. Kirby has some trouble controlling that. She gives it off to Shepard for 2, and that's good. Shepard now with 9 points gives the Miami Valley Hawks a 45-32 lead. Under 3 minutes to go. Clement on offense for Team 419. Into the paint she goes with a little hook shot runner, and she gets fouled on her way up, and so the 7th shooting foul. Team 419 would be shooting free throws, but this will be a 2-shot opportunity here for Clement instead of a 1-and-1. Clement's got 2 points. This is her first trip to the line today, and she converts on the first. As Selhorst will check in, and Minig will check out for Team 419. Second shot is up, and it falls for Clement. The score 45-34. As Clement checks out, and Horstman checks back in. Briscoe on the drive is fouled. And now Briscoe will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. And converts on the first. Briscoe is 2 for 3 so far from the charity stripe. 46-34 is the score. 2:44 to go on the second half clock. Briscoe's second shot falls as well. So Briscoe doing well at the foul line. 75% here today. 47-34. She is 3 for 4 at the stripe. Clark. Gets a pick from Allmeyer. Clark drives, shoots it, no good. And it's rebounded by Brewer. Brewer up ahead for the Miami Valley Hawks. Over to Shepard for 2, no good. Rebounded by Brewer, and that is good. So Brewer now with a dozen. 49-34 Hawks over Team 419. 2:10 and winding on the second half clock. That is Miracle. Miracle trying to find somebody to pass to, finally does find somebody to pass it to, and that is a shot that's no good, and there's a loose ball. It is Brewer who ends up with it for Miami Valley. Miami Valley up ahead. Brewer with a shot, no good on the runner, and that is a jump ball. And who does the possession arrow favor? Nope, not a jump ball. It's actually a foul. So a foul called on Miami Valley. That's the 8th team foul, so now this will be a 1-and-1 situation with 1:50 to go. Miami Valley leading by 15. As Minig checks back in for Team 419, Allmeyer sits. Clark at the line, 1 for 3 today. And makes this one, so she's 2 for 4 now. 49-35 is the score. Second shot for Clark, no good. Rebounded by the Hawks. It's Briscoe up ahead. Briscoe with a clear path to the bucket and then loses control of it, and out of bounds it goes, and it's going to come back to Team 419. 1:41 now to play. And there's a loose ball, and that's taken by Team 419. So Team 419's got it, pushing the ball up ahead. That is Selhorst. Kicks it outside to Minig. Minig finds Clark. Clark gets a pick. Clark spins, drives it, puts it up, no good. There to corral it is Selhorst. That's no good. And there's a foul. And I do believe they got 9 Miller with that foul. Let's see here. Am I right about that? Thought I saw a 9 signaled. Well, either way, it's a 2-shot situation here for Team 419. That's Minig at the line, who is short on that first free throw attempt. As Rodemaker will check back in here for the Hawks. taking a seat will be Briscoe. Minnick at the line. Misses on that second free throw opportunity. So Minnick 0 for 2 at the free throw line. Keeps the score at 14, 49-35. Shepard. Gives it off to Miller. Miller loses it, and Team 419 has it, and then Miller ties up Team 419, and the possession arrow will favor 419. So the next game that we have here on GBA TV will be a 7th grade game, the Northwest Hoop Stars against the Glass City Fury. Still about a minute to go in this one, 49-35. The Hawks pretty much have this one in control. And there's a drive by Clark, and the drive ends with points for Team 419, 49-37, with under 45 seconds to go. Shepard, guarded by Clark, gives it off to Brewer. Brewer on the run, no good on the shot. That's Rademacher there to clean it up, and then it ends up going out of bounds off of Clark, who tried to save it from going out of bounds, but just wasn't quite able to do so. And there's a timeout on the floor. We're at 26.7 seconds to go. Team 419 trails by a dozen to the Miami Valley Hawks. 49-37. We'll be back. And we're back to the action here with 26.7 ticks to go, and there's a shot that's up and no good for the Hawks. They get the offensive board, and that's Miller with it. Gives it out to Kirby. Kirby, back to Rademacher. Over it comes to Shepard. Back to Miller with 10 seconds to go. That's Brewer with it. Over to Kirby. Rademacher again with it. Gives it off to Miller. Kirby. They were just kind of practicing their motion there, and that is how this game will end with the final 49-37. Miami Valley takes this one over Team 419, and again, we will have 7th grade action coming up next between the Northwest Hoop Stars and the Glass City Fury right here on GBA TV. Don't go anywhere.